The year was 1922. Nestled deep in the Bavarian countryside lay Hinterkaifeck, a small farmstead miles from the nearest village. The Gruber family called this isolated place home. Andreas Gruber, the patriarch, was a stern man. His wife, Casilia, was known for her quiet strength. Their daughter, Victoria, a young widow, lived with them, along with her 2 children. Little did they know, something sinister lurked just beyond their fields. It was a place where time seemed to move slower, but the isolation that had once been a comfort was about to become a terrifying curse, something that would soon shatter the family's peaceful existence. Andreas found footprints in the snow. He brushed it off as a lost traveler, but a sense of unease settled over him. Then strange noises began at night, footsteps in the attic. They were isolated, with no one to turn to for help. They kept lamps burning throughout the night, casting flickering shadows on the walls. For the evil that stalked them was relentless, drawing closer with each passing hour. The whispers started subtly, carried on the wind through the trees surrounding the farm. The family, already on edge, strained to hear them above the creaks of the old farmhouse. Were they imagining things, their fear playing tricks on them? Or was something truly out there, watching, waiting? The isolation that had once been a comfort was now a suffocating blanket of fear. Andreas began to patrol the property, armed with his old hunting rifle. He scanned the tree line, searching for any sign of movement. But the woods remained silent, save for the rustling of leaves. His fear morphed into anger. He wanted to confront whatever was tormenting his family, to put an end to the whispers and the fear they instilled. One evening, as the sun dipped below the horizon, Andreas swore he saw a figure darting between the trees. He raised his rifle, his finger tightening on the trigger. But the figure was gone as quickly as it had appeared. He was left with a chilling certainty that they were being watched, hunted. The family's sleep was plagued by nightmares. They woke in cold sweats, their hearts pounding in their chests. Something was out there, something evil, and it knew their every move. The whispers in the woods were growing louder, a constant reminder that their sanctuary had been violated. Despite the unsettling events, life at Hinterkaifeck had to go on. Chores needed doing, and the family tried to maintain a semblance of normalcy. It was then that Maria Baumgartner, a young woman from a neighboring village, arrived. She was to be the Gruber's new maid, hired to help with the workload. Maria was a bright spot in the darkness that had settled over the farm. Her cheerful disposition and willingness to work hard were a welcome distraction from the fear that had gripped the family. Maria was oblivious to the strange happenings at Hinterkaifeck. She threw herself into her work, her laughter echoing through the old farmhouse. The children, especially little Casilia, took an immediate liking to her. Maria became a confidant, someone they could talk to and play with, momentarily forgetting the terror that lurked just beyond the walls. But even Maria couldn't ignore the strange atmosphere of the farm for long. She noticed the way the family seemed to huddle together, their faces etched with worry. She heard the whispers in the night, the creaking floorboards that seemed to hint at unseen presences. When she asked about it, the family brushed off her concerns, unwilling to frighten her. Despite her growing unease, Maria was determined to make a good impression on her new employers. She worked tirelessly, scrubbing floors, preparing meals, and tending to the children. She hoped that her presence would bring some normalcy back to Hinterkaifeck. Little did she know she had walked into a nightmare. The events of that dreadful night remain shrouded in mystery, a chilling tale whispered through generations. What is known as this? On the evening of March 31st, 1922, something truly horrific unfolded at Hinterkaifeck. Darkness had fallen, shrouding the farm in an eerie silence. Inside the farmhouse, the family gathered for what would be their last meal. The atmosphere was thick with tension, their faces drawn and pale in the flickering lamplight. Unbeknownst to the unsuspecting family, their killer lurked outside, hidden in the shadows. He'd been watching them, studying their routine, waiting for the perfect moment to strike. The sound of the barn door creaking open shattered the stillness of the night. Andreas, always wary, rose from his chair and went to investigate. He didn't even have time to cry out before he was struck down, dragged into the darkness. One by one, the terrified family members met their end in the most brutal fashion imaginable. Little Casilia, clutching her favorite doll, was the last to be silenced. The killer moved with a chilling efficiency, leaving no witnesses, no survivors. The farmhouse, once a place of warmth and laughter, was now a tomb, soaked in the blood of the innocent. The silence of the night was shattered by the screams of the dying, but there was no one to hear their cries for help, no one to stop the carnage. The killer moved through the farmhouse with a chilling purpose, leaving a trail of unimaginable horror in his wake. By the time dawn broke, the nightmare at Hinterkaifeck was complete.